YouTube friends, the boys and I are heading up to the garden. Come along and we'll give you a garden tour. Ready? Welcome to our garden. Okay, so this year we planted 300 seed potatoes. The seed potatoes were left from our harvest last year, and we're really excited to see how many potatoes we end up with at harvest time. We planted red potatoes because that's Steve's favorite potatoes, so we planted 300 seed potatoes. We were given some purple potatoes, which my family does not necessarily enjoy, but I couldn't just let them go to waste, so I went ahead and put those in. So we have 8 purple potato plants that are also growing out here. Okay, so one of the coolest things I think about gardening is volunteer plants. I love getting volunteer plants and see what is going to pop up from last year's seeds that might have gotten deposited. This year we had a huge surprise from the compost that we got. We had this beautiful sunflower come up, and it's been really fun to watch that grow, and we've really enjoyed getting to watch that. Also, we got corn that came up. We're not sure if it's sweet corn or field corn. At this point, we're just going to let it all dry, and we'll save it for maybe feeding chickens someday. But it's been fun to watch the corn grow as well, because we did not plant corn, and I did plant sunflowers, but I did not plant it here. This is where our compost was. I'll go ahead and I'll show you the sunflower that I planted. Okay, so this is the sunflower that I planted. I actually planted 2 seeds in this spot here, and only one came up. But it's been really fun to see this one grow, and it is obviously very tall. It's a lot taller than I am. I mean, I'm kind of short, but it's still really tall. So it's been really fun to see this grow. We plan to save the seeds from this sunflower so that we can plant a lot more sunflowers next year. Okay, so down at this end of the garden, we have our vines growing. We have a watermelon. That was from seeds that we saved from a watermelon last year that was given to us. So it's actually a yellow watermelon. So that's fun to have something a little bit different. And then the rest of these plants over here are all pie pumpkins. We love pumpkins, pretty much anything pumpkin. We enjoy cooking with pumpkins, so I've got lots of pie pumpkins coming up, and I'm really excited about that. We were not able to get any pumpkins to grow last year. They were just in a really wet area, and I didn't get any, so this is really exciting to me. I'm really happy to see how many are coming up. We do have a zucchini plant over here, and I only planted one because, you know, with zucchini, you always have too many. So I went with one plant, and we've been doing just fine with how much zucchini we've been getting. Over here next to me, these are our sweet potatoes, and yes, they do not look like they're doing great, but for us, this is amazing. Last year, the deer got to them, and they didn't have any green leaves on them, and we barely got any plants, any potatoes out of them. So to us, this is really exciting, and to us in our garden, this is doing really well. So we're really excited. We love sweet potatoes, so whatever we get from this crop, we'll be really excited about. Okay, so also in the garden we have cabbage and broccoli. Those I grew strictly for experimental. I started the seeds indoors and then transplanted them out and the bugs kind of got to them, so they're not looking the best. But I just wanted to give them a try. It's always fun to kind of try new plants. I do love cabbage and broccoli, but maybe we'll focus a little bit more on those next year and taking care of the bugs and things like that. We also have tomatoes. I did start some of those indoors. Some of these are from starting inside, and some of them are just directly from seeds. And so we have a lot of tomato plants. Unfortunately, because we got our garden in late this year, we couldn't get our garden planted until June, and so I don't have any red tomatoes yet. So hopefully they're coming, but we have a lot of green ones but no red ones yet. These plants here are all plants that I pulled off of a bigger plant. They're all suckers, and I put them in a jar and they grew roots, and so I replanted them. Again, just kind of experimenting. I heard you can do that, and so I wanted to give that a try. Okay, let's keep going.
I'm going to pause it.
Okay.
Actually, no. I'm never going to pause.
Okay. All right, next we have our beans. I have red beans and black beans on this trellis. Can you come down here and show them? Can you point down there? So we wanted to try dry beans this year and see how that went. In this row we have cucumbers, which are going pretty crazy, as cucumbers do. And then behind the cucumbers we have green beans and yellow beans. And then we have peas, which I'm letting those go to seed because we are out of pea seeds, and so I wanted to make sure we replenished the peas. And then we have, stay there bud, okay? We have some more potato plants here. These were planted a lot later than the original crop. We had some potatoes that started to grow eyes, so we threw them out here later. Beyond that is Swiss chard, which I really love, and it's kind of going crazy back there, so that's really nice. This whole row here was all of our lettuce. It is all by now bolted and going to seed, and so we'll harvest those once they're ready. Okay, so next we have our 2 rows of onions. We planted red and yellow onions. We're not going to look closely at those because they are not doing so well. We've actually had trouble growing onions here. The soil is not great. They do not like it, so we've had some trouble growing onions, and but we've been given some really great advice, and so going forward we're gonna try doing things a little bit differently, or keep trying. We're gonna keep trying. We love onions. We put in 200 onion bulbs, so we really enjoy onions, but we have to figure out how to get them to grow a little bit bigger than a golf ball. So yeah, so we're gonna keep trying on that. Next we have a row of carrots. And in the past we have not done very well with carrots. They don't like the clay soil, but I amended the row really well, and funny enough, I planted 2 rows of carrots and only one side came up. Must have had a little bit more compost, a little bit more amending on that side. I'm not sure, but we do have a few carrots, so I'm happy about that. That we have some carrots. So this other side that stayed empty, I replanted some lettuce, and that is starting to come up, so we'll have lettuce after a little while and be able to enjoy this fall. Okay, so my videographer informed me that the sun is getting too warm, so I put him in the shade, and we'll finish up the video here. 2 things I wanted to mention really quick that we think has helped the garden out tremendously this year is, 1, the fence. We had some really good friends loan us this fence, even came and helped us put it up, and we are super grateful for that. We really appreciate having a fence up this year because it has kept the deer out. Last year it was like a free buffet, and they just kind of roamed and came and ate whatever they want, and We did not have much in our garden last year, but this year it's looking really good. So we really appreciate the fence. The second thing that we think has helped a lot was compost. Our neighbor had this huge pile of compost that he had built up over the year from cleaning out his barn, and so we were able to go and get that and spread that on the garden, and we've been noticing that has helped a lot. We can even tell where the compost is and where the compost is not. We didn't get it quite spread out as well as we should have, and so we know we need to keep adding compost and keep amending the clay that we have. So there's always things to learn and always things to improve on, and we're working on that every year.
Got it.
Okay, thank you for coming on the garden tour with us. So for now,
That's that.
Mm.